Yes, the US election is on a knife edge. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump tied in many of the crucial swing states. Tonight they are in arguably the most important of them all, Philadelphia. We will get analysis from Sumi shortly, and in an hour's time our expert panel will be here to give you their thoughts on what is at stake. Also tonight, MPs vote to cut pensioners' winter fuel payments in England and Wales. 53 Labour MPs abstained today. And more sanctions on Tehran and Moscow. The White House revealing that Russia has received a critical supply of ballistic missiles from Iran that will be used this winter in Ukraine. We're going to start, though, in Pennsylvania. Live shot for you of the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia, where tonight Kamala Harris and Donald Trump will meet for the first time. And maybe the last time. This is the only debate the two campaigns have signed up to. There will be no live audience, no opening statements tonight. Only the moderators, that is ABC's David Muir and Lindsay Davis, they will be permitted to ask the questions. And remember, each candidate's microphone will be muted while the other is speaking. You can follow it live on BBC News tonight. Our special programming starts at 1 a.m. UK time. And there to guide you through it will be my colleague, Sumi Somaskanda. Good evening to you, Sumi. Big night. I suppose the big opportunity for Kamala Harris is that the people who say they need to know more about her are the very same voters who are yet to make a decision.
That's absolutely right, Christian. This is certainly being seen as a high-stakes debate, but especially for Kamala Harris. If you look at some of the recent polling that came out this week from the New York Times and CNN, it was really interesting to note that at the same time as the fact that this is a dead heat of a race, there are a majority of voters who say that they don't know enough about Kamala Harris. They want to know more about who she is, what she stands for, and what she will enact if she were to be president. And, you know, that's really important to note heading into this debate, because this is a huge stage for both of them, isn't it? This is an opportunity to speak to a wide swath of the population. We are expecting big numbers to be tuning into the debate tonight. Remember that massively consequential debate on June 27th between President Biden and former President Trump. You had around 50 million viewers there. Well, we could likely see similar numbers, if not even more tonight. But I want to talk more about the debate itself, the content, the style. And I have with me an expert on all of that, Aaron Call. He's the director of debate of the University of Michigan debate program and also wrote the book Debating the Donald on Donald Trump's debating style. So, Aaron, first of all, you know, we're all looking towards what to expect on stage between these two candidates tonight. But, you know, they haven't actually met in person before. What impact do you think that actually has when they get out on stage together?
A lot of mystery surrounding the appearance tonight. We saw that Biden and Trump had debated each other previously, and this will be the first time that they're maybe in the same room as opposed to the same stage. So they're, I think, at the very beginning of the debate, they're going to take some time to feel each other out, and it'll start slowly, kind of like we saw in the last debate, and a little more presidential above the fray. But as they get into it, as the night progresses, if they try to get each other under each other's skin, that's when you could get some of the ad hominem attacks, some of the nastiness we've seen in the last few debates.
Well, Donald Trump certainly is a commanding presence on stage, isn't he? How much of a role does that play in a debate like this?
Hey, 6'3", 200 and odd pounds. And yes, he uses that physicality to try to tower over his opponents. There was some talk in the run-up to this about whether there'd be, lifts, and so they would kind of appear the same height.
Lifts
but
it's shoes.
Yes,
yeah.
not going to happen. So there'll be a stark difference that you'll see. But some of the rules of the debate will prohibit some of the things associated with that we saw, like in 2016 when Hillary Clinton debated Donald Trump. There was much more free roaming around the stage, and some people accused him of circling her or following her. But there will be restricted to being behind their podiums, and there's not going to be a lot of direct interaction with them. They're not asking each other's questions. So some of the confining rules that both campaigns agreed to will limit some of that disparity.
We were noting that our partners here in the U.S., CBS News, reported that Kamala Harris over the weekend had a call with Hillary Clinton, who faced off against Donald Trump in 2016, debated him 3 times. What do you think it takes to take on Donald Trump on stage? Because he is a skilled debater, as I said, a commanding presence, but also is able to command attention at a debate.
It's very formidable. This will be his 7th debate. He debated Biden, debated Hillary Clinton, and he may have not won all those debates, but it overall has worked out very well for him. That's part of the reason he eventually was the Republican nominee back in 2016. And so part of the problem is he's just so unpredictable. Kamala Harris has been spending days kind of holed up, looking at past tapes and having a stand-in and all those things, but you may get an entirely different Donald Trump than you were preparing for, because he doesn't like making himself a target. He's a good counterpuncher. Just when you think you've got him on one thing, you're fact-checking him, he's moved on to 2 or 3 things in the future. So he's just very unorthodox, doesn't play by the traditional rules, could say or do anything, and so you just have to be able to adapt in the moment and not just go from your practice, but what you're dealing with in real time, and you won't know until the debate starts.
Incredibly high stakes here. I mean, how are we going to judge who succeeds in this debate? What is the judge of who has won this debate?
Normally, there's a small swath of voters that are truly undecided. Maybe they voted for Clinton and then Trump, and now don't know a lot about Harris. She just entered the race, and so they tune in to really see, what's the experience, what's the temperament, what's the vision they have for the country, what are the different policies to make my life better, and then so you talk to them after the debate and see who they thought did a better job. It's very hard to poll these things and get a good scientific number, but generally there will be some polls that look at people where they were before and after the debate and how the 2 candidates connected with them, and so there's a lot of criteria you can do there, but it's a very small number. But the election is going to be so close that even if the debate only affects thousands or tens of thousands of votes, that could be enough to swing it in these 7 critical battleground states that are going to determine the election.
All right, Aaron, really interesting to talk to you. We were speaking before the program. Debates, obviously your specialty. This is like your Super Bowl, so it'll be great to catch up with you after the debate to get your take. But Christian, just as we hand back to you, really interesting to note that we were on a call with Donald Trump's senior campaign advisor, Jason Miller, yesterday, who was speaking to reporters, and he talked a bit about the fact that Donald Trump will absolutely tie Kamala Harris to what he called the failures of the Biden-Harris administration. So the high inflation, what he called chaos at the border. He also pointed to what he said was a wave of violent crime. And he said there will be some surprises. He said there are further failures that Donald Trump could reference, things like a failure to address the Maui wildfires, the train derailment in East Palestine. So we could see some certain aspects of policy come up and of the Biden-Harris administration's legacy come up that we didn't expect. So looking forward to see what actually ends up happening on the debate stage tonight.
Good stuff, Sumi. The battle to be the change candidate. I'm not sure either of them are really the change candidate, are they? We'll look forward to your coverage tonight. Thank you for that.